there, guys. It's Mia here. I am so excited. I am so excited about this live tonight. And I'm going to teach very simply, step by step, how to select the right coach for you based on where you are, your next level journey. All right. So, no matter where you are, if you've ever asked that question, do I need a coach? Do I need a mentor? How do I choose if the time is right for me? I'm going to break that down for you over the next couple of minutes. I'm Mia Redrick, business and life consultant. I got started in my company 20 years ago, and I simply decided one day that I wanted to go to work as myself. I wanted to figure out how to combine my background as a corporate trainer and my systems in motherhood and package those things somehow together in my own business as a coach or as a strategist. And I've done exactly that. Fast forward, I've had the opportunity to coach thousands of women literally all around the world, like really. And I've supported them in understanding many things, but mostly that your knowledge, your education, your background, your experience is very, very valuable when it's properly packaged. And most people just totally don't get that part. And when I start working with them, the light bulb comes on and they really are able to see what's possible, what's in their hands, their power. I'd say also when I got started in my business, I couldn't do it by myself. So I went to a small business resource center to figure out how to get started in business. And I was told by the director of the small business resource center that my idea, mom coaching, didn't make any sense and that no one would ever pay me to do what I do today. And I say this to you because if you've ever had someone stomp all over your dream or tell you that what you're doing is not monetizable, is not viable, likely you haven't been in front of the right mentor. What I learned was that that person just didn't know how to support me. And many years later, really 2 years ago, I saw him in a pharmacy and he said, "You were ahead of your time," which meant to me, he didn't know how to support me. I kept looking for someone to help me and I ended up going to a live event and it changed my life. And it was the first time that I saw someone doing what I wanted to do, coaching. And so if you're here tonight and you're wondering, how do I select for myself a coach, a mentor? When is the right time? How do I know when I'm ready? I'm going to cover a lot of that today. You're definitely going to want to take out your pen and paper today because I'm going to go deep on this. And then if you have any questions for me at the end of this live, I will open the floor up and I'll take a few questions just to make sure I cover it completely. I wanted to do this particular live, how to select the right mentor for you, because it's a question I get all the time. I think over the course of this week, I was asked that question about 4 to 6 times, many different ways. But in that sense, how do I choose the right mentor? How do I know if it's right for me right now? And what's the differences in mentoring? And so I'm going to break this down for you. And I hope that this supports someone in moving forward. And that I believe mentoring is something very, very powerful. I've had the same primary mentor for 20 years. And I have one other mentor that I've worked with for 3 years. And so one of the things that I do personally is I have longevity in my mentoring relationships. And I've learned over the years that there's a power of what that looks like. My mentor has worked with her coach for over 20 years. So it's a tip, okay? And for any of you who've ever mentored, hopped, and you've seen like you've had results and then you move on and then you start with someone else and you have to learn that process. I want you to lean into this, right? I want you to just lean into this today. Okay. So if you're ready, it's always, if you watch my lives, if you're ready, I want you to write, "I'm ready," because you do have to be ready to receive a powerful message. So if you're ready, just write here, "I'm ready." And I'm going to jump in. I've got 10 simple points. I promise not to keep you, but this is so good and it's from my heart. And my only goal is to see you to go into 2022 and get it straight, get it right, Crystal? I want to know that the people who are following me here in this community, you know exactly what you need to do, because when 2022 comes, you'll be ready to launch 100%. All right. So anyone else ready? Crystal's ready. Anyone else ready? And if so, right here. If you're watching the replay, you can also write, "I'm ready." Okay. And you do have to be ready, set your intentions around receiving. And that's really where we get the greatest degree of value. Okay. So I'll jump in. I'm teaching tonight on How do I select a mentor based on where I am on this journey? Janet is ready. Awesome. And Crystal is ready. Awesome. And how do I know that now's the time? And is time even a consideration? Like, does time even matter? Okay. In my case, I can tell you that I didn't have the money to work with a mentor, technically, or at least I thought I didn't. I didn't even know what working with a coach long term looked like. I had to sign a contract for 12 months. And I had never been in a relationship to coach with someone for that long. I didn't know what that commitment would require of me, but I said yes anyway, and it changed my entire life. Okay. And I know it'll change your life. So here's the first thing that I want you to think of. Is when you want to work with a mentor. I was trying to figure out. I think I have the wrong notes. Okay, here we go. Um, the first thing that you have to keep in mind when you want to work with a mentor is that I think a great mentor requires you to be original. They require you to be the highest and tallest version of yourself. Okay. So if you ever have a mentor and they want you to be a smaller version of them, run right away very quickly. All right. Because all of your power lies in you being all of who you are. And I think a great mentor is always going to challenge you around you showing up 100% with your gifts, your talents, and your skills. I think a great mentor is going to require you to be authentic, not to fudge results, not to pretend and be something you're not to be a smaller version of the mentor. I think a great mentor is always going to encourage you to look at what's inside of you, what you've already done, your skills, your talents, your abilities, and they're going to ask you to show up 100%. And I can tell you for sure that that's what great mentoring looks like, because a great mentor already has the ability to create results. But what they're not looking for is someone that doesn't have self trust in themselves, right? Like the ability to know, like, I've already created this result in my career, or, or in my personal life. I'm just trying to figure out what my next step is, how to monetize what I'm doing. So the first thing I would say is, if you're looking to hire a mentor, a teacher, a coach, that mentor, a great mentor, in my opinion, is always going to ask you to show up 100%. And I think equally that if you show up with a great mentor and you're not the highest and tallest version of yourself, you're going to feel uncomfortable because they are not going to acknowledge you being a smaller version of yourself. Does that make sense? Meaning, if you're trying to be a duplicate of them, meaning if you're copying their language, their marketing, if you're being them, they're not gonna have any respect for that, because what they also understand is that all of your power, all of the results that you want to create are going to be the easiest for you being all of who you are. That is how you're going to build that trust in yourself, how you're not going to build a business and be insecure, or build a business and have to Google what someone else is doing, or copy somebody else's packages or language, or be a smaller version of them. Great mentor is going to require you to show up for yourself. And I know I'm definitely this way. If I have a client that is all about creative duplication, that's what I call it when we copy other people, I would say, how disrespectful for you to have a mentor, a coach, a teacher, a trainer, and that you copy them, right? Like, imagine somebody learning from you and that their thank you isn't the results they create, is that I want to be you. Like, come on. Mentor wants you to be yourself. I hope this is making sense. Number two, I know it is. Number two, a great mentor is going to lean in for this. It's going to piss you off. Okay. I have not had a mentor, okay, at a high level that's created change in my life that did not piss me off. Like, yeah, okay. And why is that? Because a lot of times what happens with great mentoring is that that mentor is going to call you out. They're going to call you out. And you will know it because you'll feel it. You'll feel very vulnerable. Sometimes you'll feel insecure. Sometimes you'll feel like, God, I know I could do it, but why do we have to talk about that? And if you're not working with someone that's pulling at you that way, it's because a mentor can see you as you can be. And they love you through where you are right now, but you hired them so that they could see you as you can be. And so they're always holding that level for that next level for your growth, right? And that transformation, what it looks like. And I found for myself that the more I read, the more I grow personally, the more I'm able to see really what is happening. I have a tremendous mentor. And one of my mentors said to me, I was doing like private consulting with the mentor at this year. And the mentor said to me, but let me ask you this question. Why are you not at $5 million a year? And I was like, why am I not at five? I've had I've really great years. Okay. But see, a great mentor is not there to coddle you and say, great job. You've already accomplished that. A great mentor is always going to hold that carrot for you and poke you a little bit based on what they can see you can do. All right. And sometimes it's going to be uncomfortable. And your ability to receive what they have for you is going to be based on whatever personal development work you're doing. Because if you're not doing that personal development work, you're going to feel insulted. You're going to feel very vulnerable. You're going to feel disrespected. You're going to feel not acknowledged. You're going to feel not validated. I'm breaking this all the way down. But if you do that work, one of the things you will realize is how many people in your world have ever called you out to be greater than where you are right now. Very few people. And it takes courage to do that. Super important. I hope that this really supports you. I've had great mentors over the years who have pulled me up and talked to me about many things that I need to do differently in my business to get to that next level. And each time I just do the work so that I can receive and hear what they have for me. If this is supporting you, I want you to write, this is supporting me. Even if you're watching the replay, I want you to write it. Number 3, okay? A great mentor is always going to show you how to stand in your value. And they're not going to really tolerate much else from you, right? So what does that look like? I work with a lot of women, thousands of women, literally. I've coached personally, and I've supported them in taking their knowledge, that a lot of it is their professional background or their soft skills, and they've decided, I want to start a business. And I show them how, instead of selling their time or some low fee, $50 an hour, $150 an hour, $200 an hour, $500 an hour, I show them how to package their knowledge completely differently so they can fully stand in their value, right? Like value the transformation of bringing to the table. And in doing that, they have been able to quadruple their income. I mean, I have clients who, would have taken them hundreds of hours to earn the kind of money that I've showed them how to do in a relatively short period of time, just understanding how to renegotiate their contracts and their businesses and what they're offering to bring into the table. To me, a great mentor right away is going to help you stand in your value. And they're not going to give you any wiggle room around you diminishing your value. Now, here's the part that's very touchy around this. When we have been underselling and undervaluing ourselves, and you have some mentor that comes to you and says, like, let's say you're charging $100 an hour and you feel like, oh, I'm doing all right. And then you've got this mentor that says, really what you need to be doing is charging $2,500 or more an hour, or $5,000 an hour. For you, because you've never done it before, it seems impossible and it might scare you a little bit. But I can tell you for sure that a great mentor is always going to give you perspective around how to show up in your value so that you can do the exact same work in an easier way. And that's one of the things that I hold a place for with my clients. I love the fact that many of them thought that in order for them to generate multiple 6 figures or more in their businesses each and every year, that they had to trade time for dollars. And I show them that there's another way to negotiate value, and it's not that. And a great mentor is going to show you the structures on how to do that step by step so that you are standing your value, so you can build a business with what I call ease and grace. Okay. Am I on number 4? I think I'm on number 4. Okay. A great mentor is going to, oh my goodness, it's going to show you something inside of yourself that you didn't know existed. A great mentor is going to show you something that's inside of yourself that you did not know was there. I see it all the time, every week. Okay. And my clients are already amazing. When they start working with me, they're incredible. They're already smart and sharp, but most of them are underselling what they're doing. And most of them don't know what is available to them in the marketplace to be able to really take what they're doing, to package it, to sell it at the highest and tallest levels. And because of it, they've been working way too hard or they've been trying to prove to so many people that they're valuable, that their products or services are great and amazing. They've been on discount. They've been doing things for free, doing things for no fee. And maybe you can relate to this, or, just not really understanding how to run a business in a way that is at their tallest. I think a great mentor is really able to help you really see for yourself what is it that you do, and that you have the ability to do that maybe you had no idea was the result that you were really creating for others. I know that's true with my clients. I've coached hundreds of women around this particular concept and really watched them go from unclear, not knowing what kind of coaching they wanted to do, consulting they wanted to do, licensing they wanted to do. And once they get clear around what the options are, they're able to really rock and roll in their business and view themselves completely differently. To me, a great coach brings that. And it's a combination of coaching and consulting. The truth of the matter is a combination between the two. That's what a great coach does. All right. Because sometimes we can't see the thing we're missing. And that's what a great coach does. If you're getting value, I want you to write, I'm getting value, because that is my only goal. Number 6. Okay. I think a great coach teaches you what they do. A great coach will always teach you what they do. So anyone can teach you the what. Okay. Now, the person teaching you the what doesn't necessarily have to have created the result. But I think a great coach will always teach you the how. And there's a difference. I can only teach you the how, Linda, if I have done it myself. Linda, I saw your video. How amazing. Okay, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for the 13th and 14th of the Giant Experience Master Training, because you're going to get your questions answered and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The lights will come on in a way that you'll say, oh my goodness, I never even thought this is what this could look like. That's what a great coach will do for you. Thank you, Janet. I appreciate you. They teach you what they do. So remember, anyone can teach you the what, but the only people that can teach you the how are people who have done what you want to do. And that's where I think proof is everything. Now everybody's online. Everybody says that they can do this, that, and the other thing. But at the end of the day, it's not what I say I can do. It's what I've showed you that I've done, right? So I think a great coach is going to have evidence that they have the ability to create results. And that's not cockiness, being egotistical. It's telling the truth. I actually have another line item where I'll talk about telling the truth. But I think a great coach has evidence. They have proof that they've created that result first for themselves, and that they have the ability to take what they know how to do and not only do it for themselves and create an amazing result, but that they could transfer what they were doing to their clients, multiple clients, and those individuals get the exact same results. Does that make sense? So that's super important, because it doesn't matter if your coach can create the result for themselves. But what about you? You're coming to them because you really want to know that they have the ability to transfer what they know to you. And if their system is solid, there's going to be evidence. And there's going to be lots of it: old evidence, new evidence, ongoing evidence. Those are the areas that I look for proof in: old proof, new proof, right? And ongoing proof, right? Like in real time. Because if someone's creating great results, they create them all the time. Is that correct? All right. And there should be evidence of that. All right. Number 7. I think a great coach requires you to tell the truth. And I'm going to talk about this for a minute. And this is going to step on some toes, but it's okay. And I know that as a result of me sharing this is going to help everyone to grow. A great coach is going to require you to tell the truth about yourself, okay, and stop playing small and stop shrinking and not telling the full story. A great coach is going to require you to do that. They're going to have you show up for yourself, right? Particularly on the business side, if someone wants to work with you, the only reason they want to work with you is because you told the truth and they have the ability to know what it is that you truly do. So this idea of muting your story is getting in the way of the people who you're meant to serve working with you. Simple as that. But also, I think it's also important to be able to tell the truth about the people who have created tremendous impact in your life. And I'm very touchy around this, okay? Very touchy. And I'll tell you why. Because there are very few people that ever come in your life that change your life. And what I recognize is having the ability to say and tell the truth about people who are changing your life is the ultimate growth. And what I see often with people, and I've seen this like, oh my gosh, in coaching programs that I've been a part of, mentoring programs I've been a part of, mentoring masterminds I've been a part of, tons of it, where people get an amazing result, but they don't want to tell the truth because of their own esteem. And let me break this down. It might hurt somebody's feelings, but it's true. Because they think that if I say that this person has helped me, that the people that I'm serving are going to think less of me. Okay. I'm gonna tell the truth. Okay. I'm just breaking this down. Okay. Or maybe it's that you have a limited perspective around sharing the goodness or the blessings that have happened in your world. And that's very incongruent for me personally. I think that a great coach is going to require you to tell the truth. I don't even want to work with people that can't tell the truth. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to work with people who have double speak. Like, you imagine talking to your coach and saying, I love you, you're amazing. All right. But then not wanting to tell anybody else that that person has changed your life in many ways is amazing. There's an incongruency there. All right. And a great coach is going to require you to tell the truth. And I think that's super important. I don't want to work with clients that can't do that. And I also don't want to work with, I also don't want to work with clients who are, who think that if they're saying something great about you, it diminishes who they are, because that means that person needs to do self-work. And I always keep this 100 with everyone, because it's really, really true. And many of you who watch me, you have your own coaching businesses, your consultants yourself. And I always break this down. I've talked about my coach, Terry, a million times, at least. I don't know how many times I've talked about her, but I know I've done over 5,000 lives. And I would say easily 2,500 times I've acknowledged her as my coach and the kind of transformation she's created for me. It takes nothing away from me to do it. And the reason I do it is because I have a high integrity relationship with her. But also the reason I can do it is because of the work that I've done on myself. I know it takes nothing away from me to share what she has done for me to change my life and my perspective. And my goal is to be a person that can share that way. My teachers, my mentors, I've talked about Joel as well, an amazing mentor in my life and coach who's changed my world with what he's taught me around languaging equally. And the reality is, why would I keep that to myself? All right. Number nine. I think a great coach is going to be honest with you. They're going to be honest with you. And you want that. You want a coach who's going to be honest with you, not tell you what you want to hear, but really tell you what you need to know and hear. And that's what allows you to grow, like in tremendous ways, is having a coach that can be honest with you. I think that goes without saying. Honesty is super important in any relationship. Okay. I think a great coach also is going to be the example. Okay. Great coach is going to be an example. And I always say lead from the front. And that's super important to me, is to be a person that can lead from the front for my audience. Look, I'm human. I don't get it all right. I'm 45 pounds overweight and I'm working on it. Okay. But the reality is I'm going to always lead from the front, right? I'm going to show my clients how things are done. And I am going to show them I'm a work in progress. And I think that's what a great coach is, right? Like, super important. Okay. And I think that the last thing I'd say is that a great coach is never going to sell you and then never going to convince you. Nope. When I think about the coaches that I've decided to work with over the years, they've never had to sell me and they've never had to convince me, ever. Okay. And the reason is, one, because they had proof. Reason is because they told the truth. Actually, I ended up working with Joel. I didn't even like him. I like his style. I didn't like him. But I like him today, and his family, they're beautiful. And I actually didn't even know him, but I didn't like him. But one of the things I recognize is that I don't have to like you to learn from you. All right. And, but a great coach will never sell you or convince you, because it's not necessary to do that. Usually you're wanting to work with someone is because they've done something that you want to do, or they have results that you want to create, and that you have a responsibility to reach up to that person to maintain that relationship. It's not the other way. It just isn't. I recognize that as my responsibility. If I want to have a relationship with my coaches, my mentors, the people who have what I need, is that my responsibility is to reach up to them. And, simple as that. And I think sometimes people get that part mixed up in their minds, and they think, it's my coach's it's not your coach's responsibility. There are plenty of you. Okay, there are plenty of you, and that's what you have to understand. Coaches are looking for people who really want to do the work, who have the right mindset, who want to get results, who are teachable, who are coachable, that kind of thing. All right, and if that's you, and you are that investment minded person, it's super important. And the last thing I would say is that you want to a coach wants to work with you. I think if you are the kind of person that's investment minded, and investment minded is definitely monetary, but it's also time and time, money, time, money, effort. And that's the reality of what that looks like. Imagine someone says, I want to grow an amazing business. I want to hit six figures and beyond. I want to, whatever. And they're like, but how many hours a week do I have to put in my business? It's like, what conversation is that? Okay. So I think a great coach will teach you about being investment minded, and they look to work with people who have that piece. I know that I've always been investment minded, even when I didn't have the money. I would never dream of writing someone and say, I want to work with you and I don't have the money. Are you kidding me? Like, why would I ever do that? Right. Um, I would find it because of what I wanted for my next level. And that's super important. I hope that this really supports you. I wanted to do a quick live today on if you're looking for a coach on your journey, what could you be looking for? What could you ask for? I told you I'll open the floor up. This is an impromptu live. I just put on some makeup, Crystal and Case, okay? And I wanted um, to just answer any questions that you might have around this. Like I said, we got 4 to 6 questions this week just about this very topic. And it is one of those things. Am I ready? Am I not ready? How do you know that coaching's right for you? How do you know what mentor to choose? What specific questions do you have for me tonight? If there are any, I'll answer them over the next couple of minutes around this topic, around working with a mentor. If you've been looking for a great first step, and you haven't checked out my webinar, that's a great first step and it's free. Go to miaredrick.com, miaredrick.com. I'll post it here. And you'll see the link on that page to sign up for my webinar. If you are already in my community and you've been watching me for quite a bit, then what I would suggest is the next best step after the webinar, right, is to check out the master training, which is amazing. If I say so myself, incredible results. Hundreds clients have made hundreds of dollars collectively having attended the event. You don't have to believe me. You can check out some of the testimonials. I don't know that those will be your results because I don't know you, but I can tell you that the women that I attract that do the work, I'm able to support tremendously. So Crystal says, what qualifies me as a client? That's a great question. Okay. So I think that when you're thinking of working with a mentor, most mentors are going to have some kind of qualification based on what it is that they're offering. So, for example, for the women that I work with, I would say smart, sharp, right? You got to believe in self-investment. You have to be an action taker and a go-giver and a person that enjoys being around what I call giants, other women who are owning their purpose, who are stepping into their next level. Because if you have an appetite to be around other people who are doing amazing things, then you know what I mean? Then that's that like-mindedness. You're like, you can see that for yourself. But if it makes you uncomfortable to be around people who are doing huge things, like standing in their dream and their purpose, what qualifies you, I think you said, as a quiet client? And I think the other thing that I'm always looking for is authenticity, that you have the ability equally to create a result for others. So it's not so much your passion that in terms of the women that I support, that is the most important thing, because I'm very passionate about my garden, but I couldn't teach you how to do what I just did in my garden. Okay. Because the reality is that that's not really my zone of genius. I had a lot of people that helped me to curate that garden and make it fantastic. Right. So what I'm really looking for is that someone that has the ability to create results with what they know. It could be a soft skill like motherhood, right? Organizing, or it could be a hard skill, something you're doing professionally at work already, and you're looking to figure out a new way to package it. So those are my ideal clients, or people who already have an ability. They're like, you know, it's something there. I'll give an example. When I got started in business, I started as a mom coach, and I had these great mom systems, and I had no clients, but I was in this moms group, and I would in practice some of the things that I do for myself, and I would share with the women, and they really loved it. And that's where I realized that there was something different about my systems around self-care for moms. All right. So I had a soft skill that I eventually monetized, ended up getting signed to Emmy nominated, nationally syndicated television shows, and doing a multiple corporate deals with Fortune 100 and 500 brands as the mom strategist. I ended up launching my coaching business and practice all around the mom strategist piece of what I knew how to do. And that's how I built my business and brand. It was not initially anything related to business at all, or what I knew how to do professionally as a trainer. Does that make sense? All right. So do you have the ability to create results for others with what you know, what you're already doing? And it could be a life skill or a soft skill in that way. All right. Are there any other questions? The floor is open. And let me know if that answered your question or not, because if not, Crystal, I'm happy to jump back in. She's what qualifies me as a client. And I always say that the best step for, if any of you have an interest in working with me, is number one, watch my webinar. First step. Okay. And I just put the link here. Go to miaredrick.com, my first name, last name.com, and watch the webinar. It's just 45 minutes. And from there, if you're like, I want to know more, the next step is the Giant Experience Master Training. It's phenomenal. You'll see the testimonials there of the women that have come through the Giant Experience. I now host the training on weekends once a month. So the next one is November 13th and 14th. It's pretty amazing what happens over the course of that weekend. It's very transformative. Okay. And then Crystal writes, do I have to have an existing business? No. A lot of the women that I work with don't have a business at all. A lot of them don't even know what their niche is going to be, or how to structure their niche. Or some of them do have a business, but it's not profitable, or the way that they've structured their consulting business is not the way that's going to give them the time freedom that they desire. So I'm just answering that for you. Thank you, Janet. She says, awesome testimonials. I appreciate it. Super important. And that's you, right? So, that's most of my clients. I didn't have a product when I got started. Linda, hey, Linda, was the transition from a mom strategist to or business coach challenging? So let me tell you how that happened, Linda. I built my business and my as the mom strategist brand. And so if you look at my YouTube channel, any media that you see that I've done tons of media. It's all done on the mom strategist brand. But what happened was, as I wrote my book and became a bestseller, I had people say, can you help me write a book? As I got corporate deals, I had people say, can you help me get a corporate deal? Whatever it is that I did to grow my business, and people could see the visibility that I was getting, the profitability, how my life was changing. I had so many people that wanted me to help them build their own business and brands from scratch. And I think that the unique positioning that I have is that, one, I'm a corporate trainer by trade. That's what I did professionally for a Fortune 100 company. So I understand how to take your knowledge and how to put it in a structure that will allow it to have the most value. Okay. So most of my clients don't have any idea at all of the structures that are available to them. And some of them are in business and some of them are not. And it really doesn't matter, because most end up changing what they're doing. Just recently, I have a client who, I always use this story because it's one of my favorite stories for this year. Chess coach, charging $40 an hour. $40 a session, for a session for kids to learn how to play chess. Literally support her in changing her model in her business, change her client in her business. She closed multiple six figures in about 9 to 10 months. Okay. Just changing the model. And I would say that she'd say when she started working with me, she had no idea that what we did in her business, that was going to happen. And I think that's one of the things. Janet writes, let's see, Janet. I have a business, it's not profitable and it's destroying it. So that's great, right? You bring what you're doing, we talk about what that looks like. I give you some ideas on how we can restructure what you've got going on. I mean, I've had many people have come to the Giant Experience and they've already had a business that wasn't profitable. I think if you look on the page, if you look at Diana's testimonial specifically from the Giant Experience, she came to the Giant Experience. In 9 weeks, I think it was, after attending the Giant Experience, she closed her first $144,000 contract, double what she was earning before, because she learned how to price what she was doing completely differently. All right. So as long as you're open to learning how to do things differently, Linda says, awesome testimonial. And thank you for answering my question. I think it's important to work with people who can tell the truth. And those are the kind of women that I like to work with, not hoarders, right, of that, because I'm always modeling for you how to also position yourself differently. And in today's time, no one knows what's real, what's not real. The only way you know what's real is based on the kind of results that clients are getting. And I think that if we are creating results, that your clients have a responsibility to tell the truth. And I only want to work with people that want to do that. And if they don't want to do that, then I don't want to work with them. Okay. As simple as that. Like because that is a mindset issue. And you don't want to work with people that don't want to do that either, right? So, and I'll teach you, all right, my methods and my process to work with people who are authentic. All right, super important. Okay, and so I will listen to Diana's testimonial again. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it'll relate to you because you'll see there that she's telling you that what happened. And it's not just Diana's testimonial. You can listen to Audra's testimony. I mean, there are tons of them. And we have countless hundreds of women who have come through my method, my process, and I've showed them how to stand in their value and how to package your knowledge completely different. And the coolest thing is that everybody's different. So the reality is that there's not one client doing exactly the same thing, because we're all different. That's why your authenticity is the thing that's most important. And I think that a great coach is always going to find out what's unique about what you bring to the table and then show you how to take what you know how to do and put that in a structure that's highly monetizable, has tremendous value. Are there any other questions or comments that you have for me? I think I posted here the link for the master training. Check it out. At a minimum, take a look at the testimonial pages. Look at 3 to 5 of them. Go to my YouTube channel, right? And type in my name on YouTube and see there are tons of testimonials. We've got literally hundreds and hundreds of testimonials from women who've created amazing results. And you don't have to take my word on it. Just see for yourself. And more importantly, see if those kind of results is that what you're looking for? Like, is that what you're ready for? Are there any other questions? All right. Any other questions about how to select a coach, or, some of you asked specific questions of, working with me specifically. Are there any questions, anything that I can answer for you? I just wanted to pop on tonight because this was on my heart, and it was super important. Do you offer group sessions? I do. I do private consulting and also offer group sessions. I certainly do. Yes. And the Giant Experience is I think it's the best place to come if you even think you want to work with me. It's the first step, because you'll learn there my methods and you'll see how it works. I just had a woman who attended the Giant Experience 3 weeks ago, and she was on our call on Tuesday, and she already made $10,000. She made $20,000, but really above what she had made before. She's already doubled her fees. Right. So, like, imagine that. Like, it's been 3 weeks. Okay. Or maybe it's 2 weeks, but it's been 3 weeks. Let's just say it was 3 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks. But in any event, she closed $20,000 last week. Okay. Reported it on the call. Came through the Giant Experience, applied what I taught her step by step. And if you're an implementer and you're ready to do the work, you'll get great and amazing results. If you're the kind of person that you want to watch what people do, you won't, like that. It's a pretty powerful process, right? For those who are ready to show up for themselves. And I do disrupt your comfort, because comfort is the enemy of progress. doing things the way that you like to do. How long, how, Yanira, I like that name. How long will this coaching session, how long will be this coaching session? How long will the coaching session be? So the giant experience, the way it works is that it's Yanira, I can't even imagine that you haven't heard about it, but let me tell you, okay? Because I feel like I talk about it all the time. It is November 13th and 14th, and it's online, virtual, 100% virtual. When you sign up, you get 10 hours of training instantly. So you sign up now, you get training right away. And so you start doing the training from the comfort of your home. You can watch and rewind it. You have access to it for 30 days. It's pretty incredible. But then on November 13th and 14th, you also get as a bonus 2 days with me from, I think it's 10 o'clock to 5 or 6 o'clock on Saturday, on the 13th, from 10 to 1 o'clock on Sunday. And I'm there and I answer any questions that you have. I can tell you that it's very transformational and it's more than anything you've likely seen before. And I'm not saying it from a hype perspective at all, because I just give you everything I've got. I coach you no differently than if you were in one of my coaching programs that were 25 grand or more. Just simple as that. Okay. And I answer your questions. People get clear. I have a different methodology and approach that moves very quickly. And I teach you exactly what you need to know. And I answer the questions that you need to have unearthed for you, right? That have been creating that disconnect. So it's two parts. One part is you get the training, you get access to it right away. Boom. But the second part is that I also go live with you and I answer any questions through a live accelerated coaching process. Everything's recorded, access to the training for 30 days. And it's pretty amazing if I say so myself. Okay. So the way that all right, I'm going to just share my screen real quick and I'll show you guys the page. 1 second. All right. So this is the Giant Experience Master Training page. Okay. And the focus is that you'll learn how to package your expertise, your education experience into a high ticket product, both online and offline, within 30 days. And you start training right away. You get access to, for 30 days, to 10 plus hours of the master training. And you also get 2 days of live accelerated coaching with me where I'll answer your questions directly. The core focus of the training and the weekend is on how to price what you do, your transformation, from $2,500 to $100,000 per client. So now this is mind blowing if you're not selling anything. I know, but I only teach my clients how to sell high ticket things. And even though you might not right now know how to take what you're doing and sell it for $2,500, as many of the women that have attended my event have said, they leave very clear about how to do that. Okay. And you'll learn how to stop trading time for dollars, meaning and undervaluing your gift, selling what you're doing for by the hour, $50, $100, $250, all that. You'll learn how to strategically position yourself that attracts the right audience of investors every time. So I think when you market properly, you position yourself as the obvious choice. And when you do that, competition becomes irrelevant, right? It's not about competing with this small subset of people. At the end of the day, that's irrelevant to me. I'm a business coach. I have unique gifts and abilities to create results in a very specific way of helping you package your knowledge as a high ticket offer. If another coach is teaching you, let's say, the similar thing, and they can do what I do for $50 an hour, that's the best deal ever. But I can tell you that based on my results, that's how you have to decide. So I'm positioned differently because I can back it up. Okay. How to sell both online and offline with a winning formula that's proven to work. I teach you what I say. All right. And it's not so formulated that or regimented that you're like, oh, I got to remember this. I teach you the vibe of how to sell naturally. And I have clients who, a lot of are from the medical profession. I work with a lot of doctors, and they've never sold before. And I teach them how to use the scripting, and it works really well for them. I also show you how to use my sales scripts, how to boost your confidence to present offers. It's really important. Over the course of the weekend, you'll hear me actually show you how to sell online. You'll watch me do it. Okay. It's for coaches, consultants, trainers. If you want to create a course, if you're a speaker, if you know, it's for you 100%. And you got 12 days, right, until the next event. And I always say, look, if any of these resonate with you, you know you have a wealth of knowledge and you have the ability to create results for others. If you have a powerful desire to leverage and launch your own business at a high level, if you want a turnkey process that won't waste your time and money and you're getting mixed messages, right, and conflicting advice from the experts, they're telling you to blog, the podcast, to be on all these sites, and you're doing all these things and it's not working. This is different. You don't know how to break free from selling your time and capping your income, right? You're still selling your hours. If you are ready to build your own successful company and monetize your vast experience, that you want a truthful mentor that has a proven track record of success, and that can show you real results. And that is something that's very important to me, right? I already told you my story. And then I always say, hey, are you going to be my next success story? The Stacy there, she closed her first $140,000 two weeks after the event. Audra closed 48,000 3 weeks after the event. Besida closed her first deal, I think it was $2,500 within a week of the event. They're countless stories. Camille shares, she's written a book, she's done amazing. You can just see for yourself the kind of results that these clients have created. I'll share this testimonial because it's Diana. Oopsie. Hopefully, how did I do this? Let's start
to advocate for them, Patton. And I help professional women overcome their challenges and adversities to find their voice and to use it to advocate for themselves, for others, and for the causes that they believe in. I participated in Mia's giant virtual experience conference, and I got so much value out of it. I especially love the time that she took with the women in answering each and every one of their questions. And I had a lot of questions. And the answers that she gave me and listening to the others, I decided to take that and pitch myself to an organization to do some monthly coaching and consulting. And guess what, ladies? They said yes. I have a contract value of $144,000 for the year of 2021. That's $12,000 a month, about double of what I would normally charge. So thank you so much, Mia, for helping me overcome my challenge to use my voice to advocate for myself. I so appreciate all the work that you're doing with the women, especially in the giant virtual experience conference. It was awesome. If you're on the fence, go for it. You'll get so much out of it.
Okay, now I'm going to figure out how to make this smaller. And I'm not really sure. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Well, you'll see here, there are tons, testimonials of people who've attended. I suggest you just listen to them. This is a two-step process, right? Step one is that you sign up now and you get access to your training instantly. It's 10 plus hours. It's amazing. And then you also get to join me for 2 days of a live Zoom accelerated coaching. And there's nothing like it, I can tell you. When you click the link to start today, okay, you'll be directed to this page here. And once you fill out the payment details, you'll get to choose, once you're on the inside, which date you want to come. So is it November 13th and 14th or December 11th and 12th? I can tell you we're already half full for November. And we always sell out, right? We always sell out. So make sure that you get your ticket. So it's pretty straightforward from there, okay? Let me go back over here. All right. So can you see me? Can you guys see me again? All right. I think I stopped sharing my screen. All right. Was that clear? Was that clear? Was that clear? Okay. If it was clear, then somebody write clear, all clear. All right. Any questions? Any other questions for me right now? I have enjoyed being here tonight. I thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere. Thank you, Yanir. You could have been here anywhere, but you decided to be here, and know that you're here for a reason. Thank you, Crystal. You're here for a reason. Paula, hey Paula, I'm so excited. Are you coming to November or December? I can't remember if you're in November or December class. Um, and you could have been anywhere, but you decided to be here, and it's super important. And I'll take amazing care of you. I promise you. You're coming. Awesome. 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 I just registered. Okay. And not seeing the date. You'll see it once you sign the trademark license agreement. Once you sign the trademark. And congratulations. Jan, I'm going to take great care of you. Okay. I promise you. It's a training like no other. So just lean into the process. And when will the replay for this live be available? It's just going to be up. This live will be right here. It's not going down, it's up, it'll be running. Okay. The giant experience is it's really my best work. I decided that when COVID happened last year, that what I would do is train women online specifically, because I coach all my clients online anyway. And we weren't doing live events, and I thought I'm going to coach women this way. And we've just been able to make incredible impact this way. I love the intimacy, being able to answer your questions, pull back the layers, really challenge you to step up your game, and for you to understand it doesn't have to be 6 months before you figure out what you want to do and to monetize it and what the structure is, right? That's a mindset, okay? And I think the other thing that I should say before we close is that one of the things that I don't teach is hustle and grind. I don't teach any of that. All right. I show you that you can stand in your value. Right. Right. Paula says, this will be a stretch for me. I'm excited. Stretching is where it's at. Right. That's where it's at. So you want to work with someone that is going to stretch you. You shouldn't have seen it before. The model should, for someone, you're like, what? You want me to do what? It should challenge you to step outside of your comfort zone in some way. We do things differently. That's why the women are sharing the kind of results and quick results that they've created, because we do things differently. So I love you guys. It was amazing being here with you tonight. I hope that you have a great and amazing day. I also hope that if you're into football, that your football team won today. Okay. Or if you're into baseball, hope your baseball team is doing all right. All right. So, but I love you guys. Have an amazing night. And I'll be on tomorrow at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what I'm going to talk about tomorrow night, but if you have any ideas, post them here. I go live typically every Monday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Leading up to the Giant Experience, I usually go live a little bit more. So I'll talk to you soon. Have a great, amazing night. Bye. You're welcome, Linda.